Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers watching on Kundutu TV to the third series of IBS School Debate Competition here in Kokopo for the first time, hosted by Kokopo Secondary. The IBS School Debate Competition is proudly brought to you by our presenting partners, Kundutu, NBC, NU Guinea, our official carrier, major sponsors, NCDC, Governor Powers Pakop, LNA Group of Companies, National Gaming Control Board, Electoral Commission, Office of Climate Change, NASFAN, Brian Bell, Ipatus Foundation, and Honorable Luther Wenge for lay debate. Thank you, Kokopo Secondary, for hosting the school debate competition. Today is the day 2 of semi-finals, which 6 schools are debating today, and today we will find out who are the 2 schools will qualify for the national finals tomorrow. Okay, the second contest today is between Kokopo Secondary and Malaguna Technical, and the topic for debate is climate change is not a threat but an opportunity in PNG. So let me call upon the 2 schools to come forward on stage. Thank you. Round of applause for the 2 schools. Introducing the team, Kokopo Secondary, going for the topic, climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG, sponsored by one of our sponsors, which is Office of Climate Change. The team, Kokopo, first speaker, Penina Robertson, age 20, grade 12, from East New Britain, and would like to be a mechanical engineer in future. And the second speaker is Hilary Waluka, 18 years of age, in grade 12, from West New Britain, and would like to be a pilot. The third speaker is Manila Teriki Fariata. She's 20 years of age, in grade 12, from East New Britain, and would like to be a doctor in future. And the last and final speaker is Raymond Kalau, age 20, grade 12, from New Ireland Province, and of course would like to be a doctor. The team Malaguna Technical Secondary, the first speaker is Abel Albert, 20 years of age, grade 11, from Morobe, and would like to be a politician in future. And the second speaker for Malaguna Technical Secondary is Marlene Stewart, age 20, grade 11, from Milne Bay, and would like to be a journalist in future. The third speaker for Malaguna Technical Secondary is Joy Tommy, age 18, in grade 11, from East New Britain, and would like to be a politician also. So we have 2 politicians, so we're looking in the future for them to run the province country as well. And the last and final speaker is Daniel Turolom, age 19, grade 11, and from East New Britain, and would like to be information system specialist. So round of applause for the 2 teams, Kokopo Secondary and Malaguna Technical Secondary. If I can ask you to shake hands, and you may take your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final semi-final round between Kokopo Secondary and Malaguna Technical. And the topic for debate is climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG. Let me now introduce to you our first speaker, Penina Robertson, to come forward for Kokopo Secondary. Round of applause for Penina.
Good day, Chair Lady, the adjudicators, fellow debaters, and the audience. As the government of the day, my team and I are here to bring to your attention and convince you that climate change is not a threat, but it is an opportunity in Papua New Guinea. Allow me to introduce my teammates to you. As the first speaker, I'll be speaking about the social aspects of the topic. Our second speaker will talk more about the political aspects. The third speaker will be talking about economical aspects. And the final speaker will give a summary on the whole debate and give his recommendations. Now to my points. Climate change is not a threat. And I repeat, climate change is not a threat, but it has rather created or caused us human beings, and in this case, it has caused us Papua New Guineans to be proactive, innovative, and creative towards climate change. Now, what do I mean by these three terms? Well, the Oxford Dictionary defines these terms as, firstly, proactive means to be able to control situations and take actions and make things happen rather than to wait for things to happen. Being innovative is to introduce ways and ideas of making things. And to be creative is to use skills and imaginations to make or produce things. And now you can see how these things relate to climate change. One of the important things that climate change has created in Papua New Guinea is the international relationship that we have with other countries of the world, and I mean all nations of the world. You can name Australia, China, all the European countries. We now have this relationship with them, and we're able to sit down and work together hand in hand with all these countries because we have a common goal, and that is to approach climate change. The Vision 2050, in the section of environmental, sustainability, and climate change, key objectives, and I quote, it is to create effective partnership and cooperation with international communities on environmental sustainability and climate change. And that is what I was just talking about. Papua New Guinea, we have achieved that. We have created this international relationship with the world communities. One of the activities that we've been taking part in through this unity of the world together, we've been able to identify strategic partners and develop programs that strengthen partnership arrangement. And what do we get out of this? We're able to participate and benefit from international arrangements and environmental sustainability and climate change. Now that brings me to say that climate change, as the government of the day, we, the government, strongly believe that climate change is not a threat, but it is an opportunity in Papua New Guinea. Thank you.
Round of applause for the first speaker of Kokopo Secondary, Penina Robertson, going for the topic. Let me now introduce to you our first speaker of Malagana Technical, going against the topic, climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG, Abel Albert.
Thank you, Chair Lady, and the judges and the following debaters from the opposite side, and not forgetting the gentlemen and loving spectators. We, the opposition, we are strongly going against that topic. The topic is that climate change, it's not a threat, but it's an opportunity to PNG. But as for myself, I would like to say that climate change is not an opportunity and it's a threat to PNG. As the first speaker of the government has said that we are going to have a better relationship with other countries outside because of the climate changes. Remember, some other countries outside, they are well-developed countries and they are well-industrial countries. And they have facilities that can facilitate themselves. And if we gradually lose some of our environment that's going to sustain our lives in this country, we will gradually lose the lives. Before I continue, I would like to briefly outline what my following debaters will present. As for myself, I'm going to talk about the cultural issue. The second speaker will talk about the social and environmental issue. The third speaker will talk about the political issue, and the final speaker will talk about the economic issue and will sum up our team's argument and will give the recommendation. By looking at the cultural perspective, our atmosphere now is already polluted. And remember, the rise of the sea level is already been high, and some of our island in the country now, it's sinking. And a very obvious example is one of the island in the autonomous region of Bougainville, which is the Modlock Island. It's sinking. And you know what? Some other people, they already scared and they just scattered away to the mainland. And the government, they have planned to resettle them. So when they resettle them, remember, PNG, it's a nation of what? Diverse culture. So when they meet there, their culture will be clashed. So when they clash with their culture, the problem will arise. They won't be able to penetrate at the first place to establish their culture in that society again, because they have their different culture. So, you know, they will take time to go to interact with each other, to understand each other. At the same time, that was a very example that I had it in Medang province, which is the Manam people. They have left the Manam Island and they came out to the mainland. And they were settling there. And remember, just because of the cultural conflict, they have a fight just last year. They have a very big fight. And some other things like the leaderships, they are losing their leaderships. And some people like Kukuraisia, they are no more longer having that value. They are losing their value as Kukuraisia and they look useless out there. And then the collection of food. When you are going to the new introduced area, you won't be able to adapt to the system of how they collect food to survive. So you will be slowly adapt to that. And you need somebody to teach you how to hunt and how to cultivate the land to plant the food for your survival in that area again. Thank you for listening, and I'm convinced.
Round of applause for the first speaker of Malaguna Technical Secondary, Abel Albert, going against the topic. Let me now introduce to you our second speaker of Kokopo Secondary, going for the topic. Climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG, Hilary Waluka.
Thank you, Chair Lady, adjudicators, my fellow debaters, ladies and gentlemen. Interestingly, it seemed to me that we're always talking about sinking islands, sinking islands, sinking islands. Well, up to date, not an island in PNG, there's not even an island in PNG that has even sunk. If we talk about the sea level rising, well, that's a good sign because our temperatures in the ocean are rising, and therefore there is not a good conducive environment for our marine life to breathe in. When the sea level rises, when the ice caps melt, I tell you what, the temperature in the ocean neutralizes, goes down, and therefore provides a good breeding place for our marine environment. And a classical example is right now Papua New Guinea is a very good breeding place for tuna. And that basically contributes to the economy of our country. Now, back to my point. Climate change has always been around. It has always been with us for decades, for centuries, for thousands of years. If we say that our climate is changing, true, our climate is changing. We have lived with climate change since the beginning of time. Our ancestors in the southern region, thousands of years ago, can walk with their 2 feet to Australia without even getting them wet. Now try walking, you'll get your feet wet, and you won't even end up at Australia by walking. That is basically a sign that climate change has always been with us. Therefore, climate change will always be with us, and we must look at the positive side of climate change, how we can live with climate change, and how we can prosper as a positive nation with climate change. Climate change will make us become a good member of the global world. Now, we will not be just another ordinary member. We will be a powerful member of the global world. Why? Because right now, rest of the world's attention is centered around PNG. Why? Because we have things that other developed countries don't have. We have the natural environment. We have some of the world's largest environments still intact. That's rainforest, that is. And we have some of the world's largest marine environment still intact. And once that happens, once the center of attention is PNG, the rest of the world centers their attention around PNG, we can be sure that we will become a powerful nation in the future in terms of our environment. I am excited to be a leader in the future. Why am I excited? Because I know that PNG will be a powerful nation in the future in terms of our environment. Why I'm excited? Because I want to be part of that feeling. I want to experience how it will feel to at least be a powerful nation in the future. Aren't you excited? Look at the positive side of things. We have to see climate change as an opportunity in our country and not as a threat. A lot of powerful nations in the country, such as USA. USA is known for its military power. Japan is known for its technology power, that is. China is known for its infrastructural power. What are we known of? We will be known for our environment, for our natural environment. We will be powerful because of our natural environment. If US says we are powerful in terms of military, well, we can say that we have military also. If Japan says we are powerful in terms of technology, well, we can say we have technology also. Look at the cameras. They are technology, so we have technology also. If China says we have infrastructure, then we can say that we also have infrastructure. Look at this building. It is infrastructure. But when PNG says that we have the natural environment, other developed nations in the world will say, sorry, we don't have any natural environment. It states in the Vision 2050 that our government is interested in participating in arrangement with other international countries to better benefit us in terms of environmental sustainability, and climate change. So we can see that the government of the day is also looking at the better side of this thing, at the opportunities that climate change will provide in our country. Finally, I urge all men, women, and children of this land who are watching right now, who are listening to me, that see what we are seeing. Please, at least look at the positive side of things. See that climate change is an opportunity for our country. Do you agree with me? Climate change is an opportunity for our country. Therefore, to reaffirm our stand, we, the government of the day, truly believe on the fact that climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG. Thank you very much.
Going for the topic, Hilary Waluka. I would like to now call upon the second speaker of Malaguna Technical, going against the topic, climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG, Marlene Stewart.
Thank you, Chairperson, judges, my fellow colleagues from the affirmatives, and my lovely audiences. As the second speaker of the opposition side, firstly, let me introduce what I will basically talking about. But before I present my arguments, let me rebuck on what the affirmatives has said. We, the oppositions, go against the topic that climate change is a threat but not an opportunity. I strongly believe that it is a threat. Climate change is the cause of human activities that causing the climate to change in greenhouse effect, where it causes the sea level to rise and melt the ice caps. One of the things that the affirmative had mentioned is that they said that it is a good sign. It is a good sign, but I should say that climate change, it is the cause of human activities. You are saying that it is an opportunity. Your fellow PNGs are sinking because of the rise of sea level. It's the cause of human activities. Taken from this Science and Life second edition, as stated that our heavy dependence of banning and exploring fossil fuels is really contributing to the global warming. I strongly believe that what he said about tuna is boosting up our economics. But in the cycle that, according to the industrialized factories, they put their waste into the sea where pollutant metals are dumped into the ocean and is absorbed by the algae. And then the algae are again consumed by the small fish. The fishes that they ate the plant are also affected in their flesh. And then it is then consumed by the large fish, and then it comes to consumption where we human beings, we consume it. It sometimes causes some diseases like men are having skin cancers. We having these minor bands and severe other diseases that are coming in. Oh my God. they just mentioned something that climate will change and make a proactive environment where it will be good in our lives, but it is becoming destructive. It is totally destructing the natural environment and the habitat as well. The CFC gases that are coming into the atmosphere, it will take a lot of hundreds of years to a long period of time to change. So this is a very destructive, and I strongly believe that this climate change is a threat but not an opportunity. Thank you. Hope I've convinced.
Thank you. Round of applause for the second speaker of Malagon Technical Secondary, going against the topic, Marlene Stewart. Are we all enjoying? Are we learning something from this? Yes, it's very interesting because I am learning myself too. You know, what these kids can bring and the research and everything that they have presenting today, it's brilliant. So anyway, and I hope the viewers also are enjoying the debate that is brought here in Kokopo as well. Let me now introduce to you the third speaker of Kokopo Secondary, going for the topic, climate change is not a threat but an opportunity in PNG. Third speaker, Manila Teriki Fariata, 16 years of age, in grade 11 and from Autonomous Region of Bougainville.
Good day, Chair Lady, adjudicators, fellow debaters, and audience. We, the affirmative team, are here to convince you that climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in Papua New Guinea. As the third speaker of the affirmative team, I am going to be presenting my points on the economical aspect of our topic. Amazingly, our opposition have stated that human activities cause greenhouse effect. As we state, the world has always been changing, therefore climate change is normal. So it is not a new thing we have to live with. Secondly, they stated that islands are sinking. Nothing is lost or gained on Earth. While islands are sinking, new ones are being formed in the ocean. And lastly, they stated that toxic waste, something about toxic waste being dumped in the ocean. It is totally not to do with climate change. This is to do with human activities. Now to my points. Climate change is an opportunity in Papua New Guinea for us to buy into the carbon trade. What is carbon trade? Some of you may ask. Carbon trade is when we preserve a hectare or land of our natural rainforest environment, and through this rainforest environment, oxygen is emitted into the atmosphere and balanced with the carbon dioxide from industrialized factories. It is what, in the end, we are being paid for it. It is 100% environmentally friendly, and think of it this way, you will never have to sweat again to earn money. Secondly, Australia is facing drought. So they have signed an agreement with Papua New Guinea so that water will be supplied via pipeline from the Highlands region down to Australia. By doing this, this is a big opportunity for us to use our natural resources to earn money. Tell me we are not thinking economically by doing this. My next point is on marine wildlife. Whenever we hear global warming, most of us think negatively about it because of what people may state about it. Well, I am here to tell you upfront how you can benefit from it. As the climate gets warmer, the ice caps in our polar regions begin to melt, and they go into the ocean and cool the temperature of the sea, making it conducive for marine life to breed and multiply in our waters. This is a big opportunity for those living on the coastline to harvest this marine life and sell them to earn money. Let me give you a small-scale view. If we take a ride down to Rabaul right now, you will see that most of the people standing on the side of the roads are selling fish. Not chicken, not pig, fish. Now let me give you a large-scale perspective. Our tuna industry is booming and spreading all over our country. According to Terry Imas of the Trade financial trade manager of the ANZ International, tuna is exported 4 times a week in Papua New Guinea. Now to my final point. When we have these rainforest, untouched virgin rainforest environment in our country, it is home to some of the most rarest and unique and critically endangered species of plants and animals known to mankind. This can be used as a hotspot for tourist attraction and to earn money. Stated in the medium-term development strategy of 2005 to 2010, to the tourism in Papua New Guinea, PNG has the potential to be a world leader in segments of the ecotourism market. As well, once Papua New Guinea obtains a critical mass of tourist arrivals, tour operators will be able to exercise their market power to negotiate lower airfares and accommodation charges. So in conclusion, we, the government side, strongly believe that climate change is not a threat, but a big opportunity in Papua New Guinea. Thank you.
Round of applause for the third speaker of Kokopo Secondary going for the topic, Manila Teriyaki Fariata. Let me now introduce to you our third speaker of Malagana Technical Secondary, Joy Tommy. Let's see what she has to say.
Thank you, Chair Lady, fellow judges, and my fellow debaters of the affirmative side and lovely audience. As a third speaker of the opposition side, I will be mainly presenting to you political aspects about climate change. Is not an opportunity, but it's not an opportunity, but it's a threat to our environment in our country. Let me rebut on what the government has mentioned. Some points that I'll pick out is that some of the government, they have mentioned that carbon trading can help increase the economy in our country. Yes, that's true. But to my knowledge, I have not found any information about carbon trading that countries about carbon trading that has been taken place between other countries. To my knowledge, there is no concept and to my knowledge, I have not found any information about this concept, and it's totally a new concept that has not been experimented in our country. And the other point also is that they mentioned that there is no island is sinking in our world. Yes, that's true. There's no island has been sink down into the sea. To inform you that you go back into the classroom and you go back into the classroom and you take a present atlas with the oldest atlas, you will find that some of our continental land with some parts of the islands are already sink down to the sea because of the rising of sea level that due to the ice melting that has been caused by the pressure from the sun. Yes. As for my fellow team members, I would say that climate change is not an opportunity, but it's a threat. It's a threat to our country. Anyway, back to my points. It has been taken by the Climate and Weather report by John Fenton that climate change occurs due to the increase of carbon dioxide. Some of the factors are the as you can see, the car travelings, factories, minings, burning of non-biodegradable materials, and other necessary of making fires. These are all factors that contribute. These are all factors that contributes to the effect of our that contribute to great destruction to our greenhouse effect, which leads to global warming. Since we all know that many parts of the islands are sinking. Classic example is the island of Modlok and Carteret Island, Modlok Island of Bougainville region. These are two examples of some parts of this land are already sinking down to the sea. Another example is the Manam people that have been shifted away from their isolated island to the mainland of Bogia in the Medang province, which caused fight that we don't want to occur between the Carteret Island people and the Bougainville people. To mind you that we are all human beings. We will live if all our land. Where will we live if all our land sink down to the sea? We are not logs to float on the water if all our lands have disappeared down to the sea. So we need, as human beings, we need land to survive. Thank you for your listening.
Round of applause for the third speaker of Malaguna Technical, Joy Tommy. Audience, whatever it is, it takes courage to be out here on stage. So we must support them. We must not laugh at them because they're doing very well. And who knows, you might be up on stage as well. So this is our competition, your competition, and we must be able to support whoever is up here. So round of applause for the speakers on stage. And what's the theme of the school debate competition? That's right, developing young leaders of our nation, and you are the leaders for future. And this is why we're having this debate competition, so that you can be able to develop yourself through this as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the third series of IBS School Debate Competition, first time in Kokopo, proudly brought to you by our partners, Kundu 2, NBC, and New Guinea, our official carrier, major sponsors, NCDC, Governor Powers Pakop, National Gaming Control Board, Electoral Commission, Office of Climate Change, LNA Group of Companies, NASFAN, Brian Bell, Ipatus Foundation for Enga Debate, and Honorable Luther Wenge for Lay Debate. And thank you to Kokopo Secondary for hosting the school debate competition. I think amongst us we have a sponsor rep from NASFAN. If we can make welcome Joycelyn Pora, Branch Manager Kokopo. Thank you very much for being here with us. Right, so I would like to now call upon the final speaker of Kokopo Secondary going for the topic, climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG. Let us make welcome Raymond Kalau, 16 years of age, in grade 11, and from Manus.
Thank you, Chair Lady, adjudicators, my attentive audience. A very good morning to you all. Okay, firstly, the affirmative side, we are not doomsday prophet to tell you here that this world is ending. But I am telling you this, that climate change was here, is here, and will be always here. And I repeat, will be always here. Okay, you look at me and ask me, why is this guy saying that climate change is here? Oh, okay, you're telling me that climate change started at the turn of millennium. But I'm telling you this, Papua New Guinea will not be here and I mean literally here in this location of the Pacific Ocean, if it wasn't for climate change. Climate change made everything that we can see here. Most of the things that you can see here, trees, even us human beings, we are not dark-skinned because of just something that happened, but because of climate change. Because of things that happen, that is because of climate change, then we become changed too because of climate change. And by stating that, I want to stress that climate change is a challenge. And a challenge is what that brings the best out of humans. If it was not for challenges, Sir Isaac Newton would not have invented the lights. We wouldn't have electricity, we wouldn't have running cars. Because of changes and because of challenges, that brings out the best in us humans. And funny enough, there was something mentioned by the opposition about human beings not adapting. If you cannot adapt to situation, why are you here? Why are you still alive? You should be extinct with the dinosaurs. That is why we human beings, we have this gene that we can adapt to any situation. That is why we are still here. And also, every time climate change is mentioned, everybody thinks of, oh no, we're sinking. Our island is sinking. Well, let me tell you this. Theory of ice to sea, it states that the world does not grow bigger, nor does it grow smaller, which simply means that when a baby dies somewhere, when an old man dies somewhere in the world, a baby is born. When an island is sinking, somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, a new island is emerging from the tectonic plates. And this simply means that climate change was here, and why now we are making it a threat? This is because we lack to be proactive. We are lacking to be creative. We are lacking to be innovative. Proactive is not waiting for things to happen, then we can react to them. That is being lazy. Proactive is making things happen before situations get worse. And now I'm here to tell you that climate change will be here and will be still here. It is up to us now to live, to adapt to it, because if we don't adapt to climate change, we will surely die. And as we have heard, climate change is an opportunity. How is it an opportunity? Okay, let me state here. Politically, when you go to Australia and when an Australian asks you, where are you from? And you say, I'm from PNG. And then you say, PNG, is that in Africa? Man, am I the invisible? With climate change, because of our rainforest, all these industrialized countries are looking to us. And we have them eating out of our palm of our hands. We have them here. We have the political powers to dictate terms, to tell Australia, run around the field 100 times. Okay, let me give it to a simpler terms scenario. Here I have a cool glass of water. And I am the only one in the world to have this cool glass of water. And everyone wants this cool glass of water. When they come to me, I tell them, you give me 50 push-ups, you give me 10 sit-ups, and then I'll give you this glass of water. And we have this political power. We have this political power to say that, and it is a good feeling. You know, when we look at these developed countries, we think of them as having these weapons. But we can tell them that, look here, you can have these weapons, but we have something that will sustain your livelihood, and that is oxygen. Because we, PNG, we have the second biggest rainforest in the world, and that is a fact. And by having this, we can control each of them economically. When this water rises and it is conducive for us, for tuna to breed, then we can export this tuna and we can generate income into our country and thus boosting the economy of this country. And now listen to me here. We should not look at things negatively. We should look at things brightly. because all things happen for a reason. And I think climate change is a God-given thing to us, PNG, so we can benefit. Or you'd say, our island is sinking. But like I said, an island is rising from the sea as we speak now. Now to the social side. Because of climate change, it has made this bond between our relationship with us and the outside world. That means that we have a good relationship with them. That means that we can export and we can export our things and they can buy from us. Because you can see that we have this good relationship because we can dictate terms because we have the power. And now we have to bear in mind that as humans, if we want to live in this world, we cannot just simply give up because things don't go our way. Because this is not human spirit. Human spirit is when we fight. And by fighting, we become proactive. And by fighting, we become creative. And by fighting, we become innovative. And by becoming this, we can make things out of the extraordinary. Like, let me give you for instance, Dubai is a country that was experiencing, island sinking. And you know what they did? They made an island, a man-made island that has holes through them. And by making holes through them, the water can come, pass through without disturbing the island. You see what I mean? You see what innovative can bring to us? Innovation can bring the best out of you. So it brings me to my team's recommendation. We recommend that the government makes up a policy that states that if Australia wants to do carbon trading with us, they have to limit the certain carbon emission so that you can see we are still helping the environment. We are not killing the environment, and it is an opportunity. It is not a threat. We are helping the environment by asking Australia to reduce their carbon emission. And secondly, the government should give more opportunity, give more power to the Office of Climate Change so that they can reap the benefits from climate change, like economically getting the revenue from tuna and so forth. And also, climate change provide avenues so that we can send you people, students, to go and study overseas. And once we have more people studying overseas, our nation becomes proactive, and we are not reactive to the situation, but we become proactive, we become creative, and we can invest in things that everyone in the world will be talking about. Oh, we see PNG. They're coming up with different structures that not even the minds of America can come up with. You see, we have the potential. And climate change is not something that will affect us. Something was mentioned that climate change destroys this identity that we as Papua New Guineans have. Let me give you a classic example. I am from Motlok. Let me just say I am from Motlok. What if my island is sinking? And then we're swimming there, we're swimming. My grandpa is swimming next to me. Okay, my grandpa is swimming next to me. And because of climate change, suddenly my grandpa speaks to me and says, swim faster, swim faster. Man, that would be the day my grandpa speaks English to me. So you can see, even though climate change is here, I can still swim like a Motlok. Because climate change does not change my identity. My identity is here. It is in each one of you. So ladies and gentlemen, do not believe that climate change is a threat. But ladies and gentlemen, take it as an opportunity for you to be proactive, to be creative, and to be innovative. So let us make leaders who can be that, but not leaders who will be reactive and do not sustain the livelihood of this country. Thank you.
Round of applause for the last and final speaker of Kokopo Secondary, going for the topic, climate change is not a threat but an opportunity in PNG, Raymond Kalau. Kalai, thank you. Let me now introduce to you our final speaker of Malaguna Technical, going against the topic, climate change is not a threat but an opportunity in PNG, Daniel Turalom.
Thanks the chairperson, the judges, the affirmative side, as well as the audience. Your presence is very delightful, okay? Okay. With all the sweet talk, the government had said, it does not convince me. And therefore, I go against that. That climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity. No. The answer is no. I say that climate is an opportunity. A climate is not an opportunity. And it is a threat that is killing you. Okay? First, before I go to I'll be on economics, okay? I'll be on economics. But before I'll go to economics, as well as I'm going to wrap up the overall view of the point of view for the opposition side about the topic. Firstly, I want to rebut on what the government said. First speaker of the government have said. She said that climate change is active and is giving us giving us creative mind. Definitely no. Okay? Why? And climate change is killing people. Climate change, the global warming, is killing people. See, ice are melting at the North Pole, and it's causing the sea is covering all the islands, and they are sinking. If you are blind, then you have to walk around the beach and prove me that I am right. As I am a victim, I'm from Radas. A volcano is killing us out there. It's not a threat. It is killing us. Okay? Firstly, now I'm going to make an addition into what my first speaker has mentioned. And you have mentioned about, you have talked about the first speaker of the opposing side have mentioned that climate change is changing our cultural conflict, it's treating to our cultural conflict. Yes, when an area is covered by a sea, then they have to move out of that land into an rare area where the government reallocate them as a resettlement. But then again, conflict will still erupt because the people for that particular areas will have a conflict with those new migrants are coming to that area. And also, it have come to a point that the people will adapt to another environment which it derives them from their cultural value. And the second point is on the social science, the social environmental, which is the second speaker have mentioned that migration is also caused by changes in climate. When an area is covered by a sea or it is destroyed, then people have to move out of their area. And then it is causing inconvenience within the peoples of that particular area where the government have relocated them with that new migrant. And that also caused by the changes in climate. And the third speaker, also changes in climate cause destruction to our natural environment. Third speaker have said that the effect of climate on the environment is also caused by changes in climate. The adaptation of people to the is not caused by what? By the choices of the people. No, it caused because of the climate. Climate is changing and is treating you and is killing you. And to go to my point on economics, I would say that as far as an economic of a country is concerned, climate change can be a stumbling block to the economics in 3 ways, which I believe and indeed I am true. I'm right. By firstly saying, climate changes cause falls in gross domestic product. And gross domestic product is the total value of income, of total values of production a country can produce within its economic. Due to global warming, some little islands are sinking. And they are sinking with the natural resources that is need to produce the economics. And therefore, to make the recommendation to our stance against the topic, against our topic, economic climate change is a threat because it is killing many people. With all that, thanks.
Round of applause for the final speaker of Malaguna Technical, Elia Turlong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the semi-finals of the IB School Debate Competition in Kokopo, and I hope you viewers are enjoying a great debate presented by our kids today. I think that brings us to the end of our round, second contest between Kokopo Secondary and Malaguna Technical with the topic, climate change is not a threat, but an opportunity in PNG. And I'm sure that we have learned something from the presentation here. So round of applause for the two schools. Well done. May I request you to shake hands and go off the stage.